happen rather than doing what he came here for. So it is a young American team we'll be seeing tonight. Competitors like Scott Keswick, who typifies what could be the future for this American team, or Cheney Humphrey, who's already begun to make an impact in international competition and whose future seems limitless. Signs are bright for the future, but the future may not be today. Dedication, athleticism, daring, defying the extremes. Grace. This is the sport of gymnastics. These are its championships. We welcome you to the 1991 World Gymnastics Championships. We are in Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, these championships have been around for a long time. They started way back in 1903. There were only 4 teams then, hardly a world championship. Well, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and France are still here, but they've now been joined by 44 other teams. And there is a competition within a competition. The top 12 teams in tonight's competition will wind up in the Olympic Games in Barcelona. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, along with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor. And Bart, let's talk first of all about this United States team. They were dealt a rather serious blow right out of the box.
And there's no question that they're hurting in the team competition tonight. What happened in the compulsory round is Lance Rignall, the most experienced U.S. team member, tore his pectoralis muscle as he was performing an iron cross on the rings. Because Lance had to withdraw from the competition, the U.S. has only 5 members. Typically, there are 6, and you count the best 5 scores in each event. Because Lance is out, the U.S. has only 5 members on each performance, and they'll have to count every score. It's going to be very tough on them.
Extremely tough, and that's probably an understatement. Kathy Johnson, hard for me to imagine. The Soviets have only been in world championships since 1954, and since that time, all they've done is win 237 medals, and in team competition, 17 golds. Hard to imagine anything's going to be different tonight.
The Soviets are certainly a class above the rest. They have a 4-point lead, which in gymnastics is insurmountable. I can't say enough about this team. Each of the 6 gymnasts have won a major international competition. They're very capable of scoring 9-8 or better on every single event, and their level of difficulty is astounding. Igor Korobchinsky, the defending world champion, is here to defend his title, but he'll be hard-pressed by Vitaly Sherbo, who is a rock in competition.
All right, Bart, let's assume then that the Russians will go ahead and win the gold medal. Who's going to win the silver and who's going to win the bronze?
Now, this is going to be very close because it comes down to 3 teams, Japan, China, and Germany. They're separated by less than 1/10 of a point, so it's going to come down to the last performance.
And here are the standings after the compulsory competition. The Soviet Union, as you might expect, comfortably in first place. But the battle here, Bart, not so much only for the medals, but rather for something even bigger.
That's right. As a matter of fact, the top 12 teams from this competition will go on to compete in the Olympic Games, and only the top 12. Great Britain is sitting right now in number 12 spot.
And, of course, an international event like this, you would expect a very international crowd, and that's what we've had throughout the competition here so far in Indianapolis. The Swiss on hand en masse to support their team, and they've done very well. As you look at Daniel Jubalini, and he has been the leader of this Swiss team.
And there's such a great tradition in Swiss gymnastics, and they always show up in force with the cowbells and the Swiss flags, and gymnastics dates back to a couple hundred years ago back in Germany and Switzerland when many of the sports clubs initiated gymnastics programs, and they've had some great ones. Josef Stalder was a great Swiss gymnast many years ago, and the team is on the way back, and Jubalini is a leader of this program. You'll see on the pommel horse he fulfills the requirements here. He needs to touch all 3 sections of the horse. Look at his toe point. Very good form. This is the single leg work. These moves are called scissors. Those are a little low. They could be just a little higher. Okay, strong dismount.
Bart, I know he's happy to get through that one because he had trouble in the compulsories on this event, only scored an 8.875.
And let's take a look at how he fulfills one of the requirements the judges are looking for. He works from the end, he travels up to the first pommel, across to the second pommel, and all the way down to the other end. He fulfills the requirement of touching all 3 sections of the pommel horse right there. Good job.
And another requirement is the single leg work. These are scissors, and actually his hips should be going a lot higher on the top end of the swing. Then he moves into flare work. Of course, this is always very popular with the audience. And right on up to the handstand dismount.
And again, you can hear the crowd, and it's not as though he is 5,000 miles away from his native Switzerland. Plenty of support here as he awaits his score, and he gets it, and he is very happy with it. 9-7 for Jubilini. Neil Thomas of Great Britain now preparing for his competition in the rings. You saw his compulsory score. Remember, Great Britain and Switzerland right now locked in a battle. They are 11th and 12th, and the 12 teams, first 12 teams here, qualify for the team competition at Barcelona.
Neil Thomas is especially good on the floor exercise, but one of the reasons he's so valuable to the British team is he's a strong all-around performer on all 6 events. You'll see here great swing work right up to the handstand and solid. Iron cross. That was a little short. He needs to hold that 2 seconds to get the full value of the move. He's picked up some swing here. Notice the rings are swinging. That's a slight deduction. Strong dismount, though.
Neil Thomas of Great Britain. Guy who says he's into bungee jumping. You would expect he'd do pretty well in the rings, wouldn't you?
That's the kind of person that makes a great gymnast, Barry. A bungee jumper.
Well, this bungee jumper accepting the plaudits of his teammates. Remember, Great Britain and Switzerland are locked in a battle right now, and we'll see if this helps his team a little bit. Another look at Neil Thomas.
This was certainly a very solid routine. Right off the top, he'll lower into an iron cross, one of the strength elements necessary in the routine. Many of the top gymnasts now are doing 3 and 4 strength elements. Really, the best part of his exercise is this segment right here, the double front between the rings, the Yamawaki. And you can really see on this next replay, this is dismount, a piked half in, half out, but you can see he loses a little bit of form. The legs come apart, the toes aren't quite pointed. That's where he loses some tenths of a point.
Well, we'll see what it cost him now as Neil Thomas and the rest of his British teammates wait for his score. And there it is, 9-5-2-5, all being considered not too bad for Neil Thomas. These World Gymnastics are brought to you tonight by Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. And by Pop Secret Microwave Popcorn. Perfect popcorn is our passion.
From coast to coast, Dodge Caravan has happily served more families than any other minivan. But we've made it even better, because we've come up with an all-wheel drive Dodge Caravan. So now you not only get a vehicle loaded with safety features, including the first minivan airbag, you've got one that automatically handles just about anything the weatherman can throw at it. No shifting, no levers, no sweat. The all-wheel drive Dodge Caravan, now with a warranty choice no other manufacturer offers.
My health club always had Pert Plus in the locker room. It cleans, conditions. It's great. And one day they switched. This one said it had conditioner in it, but my hair told a different story.
Some 2-in-1s don't lather as well or leave hair feeling as clean. Others don't fully condition. But Pert Plus's microbead conditioner leaves hair clean and completely conditioned.
So now when I go to my club, my Pert Plus goes with me.
Pert Plus. There's no 2-in-1 like this one.
Have you ever created or invented a product? Don't just let it sit there. Do something about it. You can start by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-227-7000. You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventor's Kit.
Call 800-227-7000.
Barry Tompkins with Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson. These are the World Championships. We are looking at the next to last rotation now. These are the Romanians, Adrian Cataniu on the high bar. Still to come, of course, the Soviet Union, the United States, the Germans.
Cataniu opens with a one-arm giant swing right here to a Ginger. Oh, it's out just a little too far.
So that will cost him, of course. How much will it cost him?
Actually, the judges take off 0.5 of a point, and he's allowed to continue the exercise from the point where he falls off, but that's going to really hurt their team. Let's see if we can see what happens here. He has good speed and good height. He's just a little too far out. He's 5'6". He probably wished he were about 5'7". He might have caught that.
Would have made it.
And as you said, that's really going to hurt Romania. They're in 8th place after compulsory. They finished 6th at the last World Championships.
Here's a name you might be hearing a little bit more in the sport of gymnastics as the years go on. Yuri Keki of Italy.
We saw Yuri Keki win the European Cup this past spring in Belgium. And one of the main reasons he won the competition was because of his great work on the parallel bars. And you can see he's just ripping through this routine. He's a very intense competitor. Notice he has excellent form. Very precise in all of his movements. That's impressive to the judges. Well done.
So a very good routine for Yuri Keki. See if that sets the tone. And he has plenty of support, too. We mentioned the fact, even though this is very much an American soil, plenty of support for almost every, especially European team.
Bart, as you said, he is so aggressive in competition. He really attacks every single move. Nice peach, right to handstand. Strong giant work. He always keeps perfect form. Legs are always straight, toes pointing. Now look at the dismount. It's a pike double back. A little bit harder to land than the tuck. He really goes for it.
So Yuri Keki of Italy. Italy has never won a gold medal in World Championship competition. 9.725 the score for Keki. As we look at Neil Thomas now, who we saw a moment ago, now we will see him in the vault.
We mentioned that Thomas is a strong tumbler. He's also an explosive vaulter. Look at that.
Great Britain trying to stay in front of France for that 12th and final position for the Olympic Games.
There's a lot happening in this vault, Kathy.
You can really see the amount of push he gets off the horse, and he's got to crank 2 twists around before he lands.
And you're going to hear crowd sounds all over the place, and the reason for that is, of course, all the disciplines going on simultaneously in this team competition. It really, literally is a 3-ring circus as we look at Marius German of Romania on the high bar.
German is the most experienced of the Romanian gymnasts here. He's got a very difficult high bar routine. Here's an important move coming up right here. Well done.
Just to add a footnote on Adrian Catanu, who we saw a few moments ago, 9 even, despite the fall.
This is a good exercise for German. He showed 2 good release moves, and he has a very impressive dismount. It's going to be a laid-out double flip with 2 twists. Let's see if he can make it. Here it comes. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Beautiful dismount, and boy, do they need that. Not only do they have the 9.0, but also a 9.05, and they're looking to drop one of those slow scores.
So German strides off, and that is the face of a confident man right now.
This is the front with a full twist. Boy, that's difficult to catch. Broke just form just a little bit.
We'll take one more look at this.
Here's the dismount. Beautifully done. Double twisting, double back, laid out position, and look at that landing.
Really stuck it, so German waits for his score, and there it is, 9.725 for Marius German of Romania, and that clearly will help his team after a couple of subpar performances. Still a lot more to come. We're at the World Gymnastics Championships, and we're coming back to Indianapolis after this.
You taking